In everyday life, we often encounter various types of toxic people, among whom manipulators stand out. Manipulators are individuals who seek to control and manipulate others to achieve their own goals and desires. Their manipulation tactics can be diverse and often imperceptible at first glance, but their impact on our emotional and psychological state can be profound and destructive. Let's delve deeper into who manipulators are and how to effectively deal with them. Manipulators are individuals who actively employ various strategies and tactics to achieve their goals, disregarding the needs, feelings, or rights of others. They may use manipulation to control others, gain advantage, or satisfy their own selfish desires. Manipulation can manifest through lies, blackmail, guilt-tripping, manipulative behavior, or manipulative words and actions. Characteristics of manipulators often possess charisma and persuasive charm, making them attractive to others. Know how to identify the weaknesses of others and exploit them for their own purposes. Disregard the boundaries of others and do not respect their personal space or rights. Often employ manipulative tactics to get what they want, even if it may harm others. Can be manipulative not only in relationships with other people but also at work, in the family, or in other areas of life. Consequences of interacting with manipulators. Interacting with manipulators can have various negative consequences for our emotional and psychological well-being. We may feel exhausted, oppressed, incredibly stressed, and even guilty or unworthy. Manipulators can leave us feeling like we've lost control over our own lives and can diminish our self-respect and confidence. How to recognize a manipulator? Manipulators are people who seek to control and influence others using various tactics and techniques. They are masters of manipulation and often act covertly to achieve their goals. Recognizing a manipulator can be challenging, but with some signs and observance, you can see their true colors. Watch their words and actions carefully. Manipulators often use tricks and cunning to get what they want. They may say one thing but do something entirely different. Watch their words and actions, and if you notice inconsistencies between them, it could be a sign of manipulation. For example, they may say they are your best friends, but their actions may indicate otherwise. They may use you to achieve their own goals. Pay attention to their emotional manipulation. Manipulators often employ emotional manipulation to control others. They may play on your feelings, inducing guilt, fear, or obligation. For instance, they may tell you that you owe them help or that they will be very upset if you don't do what they want. Notice such tactics and don't let them influence your decisions. Notice how they react to refusal. Manipulators don't take refusal lightly. They may try to persuade you or even resort to aggression to get what they want. Pay attention to their reaction when you refuse them something. If they become aggressive, threatening, or start blaming you, it could be a sign of manipulation. Don't let them make you feel guilty or fearful and remain steadfast in your decisions. Be wary of their constantly changing opinions. Manipulators often change their opinions and positions depending on what suits them at the moment. They may say one thing and then completely contradict themselves later. Pay attention to such behavior and be cautious not to fall prey to their manipulations. Remember, manipulators seek to control you, and constantly changing opinions are one way they achieve this goal. Trust your intuition. It's important to trust your intuition and inner sense when it comes to recognizing manipulators. If something seems suspicious or inconsistent to you, chances are it is. Don't ignore your feelings and stay vigilant. Intuition is a powerful tool that will help you avoid unpleasant situations and maintain your emotional stability. Recognizing manipulators is the first step in avoiding their influence on your life. Be attentive, observe their behavior, and trust your intuition. Only then can you protect yourself from their manipulations and preserve your emotional freedom. How does a manipulator influence our decisions and actions? Manipulators are individuals who skillfully use various tactics and strategies to influence our decisions and actions. They are masters of manipulation and often act covertly to achieve their goals. Interacting with manipulators can be dangerous as they can manipulate our thoughts, emotions, and actions, leading us down their path. Manipulators possess various psychological methods that they use to influence us. They may use lies, information manipulation, emotional manipulation, and attention manipulation. Here are some of these methods. Manipulators often use lies to convince us of something or hide their true intentions. They may exaggerate facts, distort the truth, or simply fabricate stories to get what they want. A manipulator's lie can be very convincing and difficult to recognize. Manipulators may choose which information to provide us with and which to withhold. They may present a situation to their advantage by distorting facts or presenting information in a certain context. This can lead us to make decisions based on incomplete or distorted information. Manipulators may use our emotions to influence our decisions and actions. They may evoke feelings of guilt, fear, regret, or sympathy in us so that we do what they want. They may use manipulative tactics such as blackmail, threats, or even manipulation of our feelings of love and attachment. Manipulators may control our attention so that we focus on certain aspects of a situation or problem, ignoring others. They may create drama, distract us from essential issues, or simply divert our attention to what benefits them. How manipulators influence our decisions. Manipulators can significantly influence our decisions and actions. They can compel us to do things we don't want to do or persuade us that their interests are more important than our own. Here are some ways manipulators influence our decisions. Deception. Manipulators may use deception to make us believe what they say or offer. They can create the illusion that their proposal benefits us, although it may actually serve their interests. We can be misled and make choices that don't align with our true desires and needs. Emotional manipulation. Manipulators may use our emotions to make us do what they want. They can evoke feelings of guilt, fear, or sympathy to persuade us to accept their proposal or adopt their point of view. We may succumb to their manipulations and make decisions based on emotional influence rather than rational deliberation. Pressure. Manipulators may apply pressure to make us do what they want. They may threaten us, blackmail us, or create situations that make us feel uncomfortable or under pressure. We may yield to their pressure and make choices that don't align with our true desires. How to resist manipulation. To resist manipulation from manipulators, it's important to be mindful and vigilant. Here are some strategies to help you resist manipulation. Be aware of your emotions, recognize your emotions, and understand how manipulators may exploit them. If you feel someone is trying to steer you toward a certain decision or action through emotional manipulation, try to step back and make decisions based on rational consideration. Don't take information at face value. Don't blindly accept information provided by a manipulator. Verify facts and seek independent sources of information. Be critical and analytical in your thinking to avoid falling for the manipulator's tactics. Assert your values and boundaries. Don't allow the manipulator to violate your boundaries or make you do things you don't want to do. Learn to say no and advocate for your interests. Seek trusted advice. If you're unsure about which choice to make or feel you're being manipulated, turn to trusted individuals. Share your thoughts and feelings with them. Manipulators are individuals who seek to control and influence others using various tactics and techniques. They may employ manipulation to achieve their own goals, regardless of how it may impact other people. Interacting with manipulators can be highly toxic and negatively affect our emotional and psychological well-being. The first step in preventing manipulation is learning to recognize the manipulator. Manipulators typically possess certain characteristics that help identify them. They can be excessively persuasive, using manipulative tactics such as lying, emotional manipulation, or inducing guilt. They may also be egocentric and show no sympathy for the feelings and needs of others. To recognize a manipulator, it's important to pay attention to their behavior and communication. They may employ tricks to make you do what they want or manipulate your emotions to evoke feelings of guilt or fear. They may also use deceptive words and promises to gain your trust and cooperation. One way to resist manipulation is by developing self-assurance and confidence. Manipulators often seek out people who are easily influenced and lack self-confidence. Therefore, it's important to work on self-esteem and confidence to avoid becoming an easy target for manipulators. Developing self-assurance and confidence involves recognizing your values and establishing boundaries. When you have a clear understanding of what matters to you and what you're unwilling to tolerate, you can more easily resist manipulation and protect your interests. Manipulators often employ tactics like information manipulation and creating illusions. They may present facts and events in a way that aligns with their interests and goals. To resist manipulation, it's important to cultivate analytical and critical thinking. Analyze the information presented to you and verify its accuracy. Ask questions and seek additional sources of information to get the full picture. Don't take everything at face value, especially if it may benefit the manipulator. Setting boundaries is a crucial aspect of preventing manipulation. Manipulators often try to violate your boundaries and make you do what they want. Therefore, it's important to establish clear boundaries and be prepared to defend them. Setting boundaries involves the ability to say no and refuse unacceptable requests or demands. It also means being ready to express your opinion and assert your rights. When you clearly define your boundaries and don't allow them to be violated, manipulators will have difficulty manipulating you. There are numerous examples of how to resist manipulators. For instance, if your colleague constantly tries to shift their work onto you, you can refuse and suggest they take responsibility for their tasks. Be confident in your abilities and don't let them use you. Another example, if your partner constantly tries to manipulate your emotions by inducing guilt or fear, you can express your feelings and stand up for your emotions. Don't let them control you and your emotions. Yet another example, if your friend constantly tries to manipulate you to get what they want, you can set boundaries and be ready to say no. Don't let them take advantage of your kindness and weaknesses. It's important to remember that preventing manipulation requires effort and practice. But when you learn to recognize manipulators, develop your confidence, and set boundaries, you can protect yourself from their influence and cultivate healthier and more supportive relationships in your life. Imagine you're working in a company where one of your colleagues constantly tries to manipulate you. They employ various tactics to get what they want from you, even if it contradicts your interests. They might use flattery, threats, or even blackmail to achieve their goal. How do you resist such a manipulator? Firstly, it's important to be aware and understand that they're trying to influence you. Instead of reacting emotionally, try to stay calm and analyze the situation. Ask yourself questions like, what does he want from me, and what alternatives do I have? Then, set boundaries and don't let the manipulator influence your decisions. Be confident in your goals and steadfastly defend your interests. If the manipulator tries to confuse you or throw you off track, stay focused and don't let them gain the upper hand. Another example of manipulation may occur in personal relationships. Suppose you have a friend who constantly tries to control you and your actions. They might use insults, threats, or even ignoring you to get their way. How do you deal with such a manipulator? It's important to remember that you have the right to your autonomy and independence. Don't let them control your life or limit your opportunities. Set boundaries and clearly express your needs and expectations. If your friend continues to manipulate you, it may be necessary to reconsider the friendship and think about whether it's worth it to you. Manipulation can also happen within families. For example, a parent may use guilt or manipulation to control their children. They might constantly criticize them, undermine their self-esteem, or even threaten them to get their way. How do you deal with such manipulations within the family? It's important to remember that you have the right to your own thoughts, feelings, and decisions. Don't let parents or other family members control you or limit your freedom. Set boundaries and clearly express your needs and expectations. If a parent or another family member continues to manipulate you, it may be helpful to seek help from professionals such as psychologists or family counselors. Manipulation can also occur online, especially on social media. For example, someone may use false information, fake news, or even Photoshop to influence your emotions and opinions. How do you deal with such manipulation online? It's important to be critical and verify information before accepting it as truth. Use reliable sources of information and don't fall for provocations or emotional manipulations. Be mindful and remember that your thoughts and opinions are valuable. Don't let anyone influence you or change your mind without your consent. Manipulation can also happen at social events, such as gatherings with friends or colleagues. For example, someone may use manipulative tactics to get what they want from you or to present themselves in a better light. How do you deal with such manipulation at social events? It's important to be aware and understand that someone may be trying to influence you. Don't succumb to provocations and maintain your independence. Set boundaries and don't let anyone use you for their purposes. Be confident in yourself and your values, and don't let manipulators influence you. These real-life examples will help you better understand how to resist manipulators and maintain your independence. Use these strategies and methods to avoid falling for their manipulations and create a happy and toxicity-free life. Ultimately, understanding manipulative tactics and developing effective strategies for dealing with manipulators will help us protect ourselves from their harmful influence and maintain our emotional and psychological well-being. Be vigilant, respect yourself, and don't hesitate to seek support when needed. Until we meet again.